First of all, I don't think anyone who is English should be using the word colonized. It is the most out of touch word you can use. It is, of course, wrong. But for a man who has come from that country who colonized almost half the world, it is such a tone deaf and disgraced statement. Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the Clutch Report. It's been a while since we've recorded, but we are back to discuss the top four race as it heats up. Also, the relegation battle, at least for one place, is getting spicier. But Karak, how are we doing?
Doing well, sir. Finally, Liverpool have won, so that's a good thing. But yeah, overall, the top four race is heating up. Also, the top two race is also heating up, my friend, with Arsenal drawing yesterday. So, what are your thoughts on that game, Mr. Shivers? It was Arsenal-Brentford. I thought Brentford could have won that, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that chance in the end for Igor Thiago and overall, just they were also a menace from set pieces, from those long throw-ins that Coyote was bombing through. So I think Arsenal was sort of getting a piece of their own medicine. And yeah, I thought Declan Rice, to be fair, was also phenomenal in that game. The way he covers the pitch is incredible. That man can run a marathon, you know. But overall, yeah, maybe you could say fair result. Maybe Brentford deserved it. I think even Martinelli had a chance in the end. So it was always going to be a tough game for Arsenal. At the end of the day, they got a draw out of it. It's back to 4 points. And I think we've discussed that City Arsenal game is going to be so crucial at the end. So if City can stay close, this title race will go right down to the wire. What did you make of the game?
Absolutely. And also, Coyote, man, I just saw this clip on Instagram, we know about Rory Delap, Rory Delap
Yeah.
throwing that. You know what Coyote's name is?
What's his first name?
Rory the Black, my friend. I
God.
saw, I saw this on Instagram and I died, man. But yeah, I just thought, I thought Brentford so good overall, very physical. I thought they played really well, and Arsenal had 20-25 minutes where they could have finished the game off. But again, what a team this Brentford is. And I just read about Brentford that they haven't sacked a coach in the last 11 years, and they've had like four coaches come in from their setup, like Thomas Frank. Even Thomas Frank was the assistant coach, and then he became the manager, and see what he's done for the club. And even Kevin, at this moment, he was a set piece coach last year, and then he's done such a great job. So kudos to them. I think they are one of the best run clubs in the Premier League with the budget they have. So it's nice to see clubs, focusing internally with their coaching department and making sure coaches who have been there with them for a long time get that recognition. I feel like some of this could be like, passed on to the other clubs working in the Premier League. But yeah, we'll talk about that. You know which club I'm talking about, but we can talk about that later. But one more question for you, Shiv. Do you think Arsenal are going to choke this? I've asked you this multiple times, but do you see a choke job coming in somewhere?
uh, Not yet. Not yet. I mean, I know this question will keep being asked. However, I think City's tails are up now. Two big victories back to back. I think that Liverpool game was crucial. At one point, I think you guys scored in the 70th minute and then they were able to come back from that. So that was probably like a big confidence boost for them. And then they put away Fulham pretty convincingly. So City are there. They are going to keep fighting right till the end. We can expect them to put up a big consistent run of wins. So Arsenal will also have to be consistent. They've got a big North London derby coming up, Arsenal now, with a new manager. Will Tottenham have that new manager bounce? Who knows? But yeah, again, like we said, that game at the Etihad will have a lot of say in how the title goes. But your thoughts? I know we haven't spoken since that Liverpool City game. Your thoughts on that game, and do you think City can do it?
Man, I think City with those two signings, man, Gahey and Semenyo, I think they've been top so far. I think Gahey in the Liverpool game was sensational. I thought he was there everywhere, blocking, passing. Just such a good figure to have at the back when City are going through that defensive crisis, they call it. But also Semenyo, man, he's come in, he's hit the ground running. And finally, you can see the shackles of Haaland has been a little broken because, he can rely on
Yeah.
Semenyo to score. But that's the only thing, because I feel like if City have scorers around Haaland, they definitely have a chance. But again, man, I think Arsenal, this could be a one-off where Arsenal drew to Brentford and
Yeah.
they could go back again. But let's see, it's going to be interesting. But I'm happy that we have a good title race going, Shiv.
Absolutely. And I think Brentford can be a one-off. They are a good team. We've seen them caused problems to a lot of teams. I think you guys dropped points. We've dropped points to them. I believe Chelsea also dropped points to them. So it's not an easy place to go. Another one of those fixtures has usually been Sunderland for most teams, but you guys managed to find a way to beat them at the Stadium of Light. What did you make of that game?
Man, I'll be honest with you. That was one of the best away games I watched this season. I thought we were clinical. I thought we were good. We could have scored a couple of goals. And defensively, I must say, I've been very harsh on Konate from the start of the season. But man, the start of the year, I think he's been incredible for us. He's just been so solid at the back. Some of the defending against Sunderland, especially against Brobry, who's a massive tank. Some of
Mhm.
those blocks, some of those clearances, and just his defensive awareness, it just looks like he's back to the karate we all know. So props to him. I think I need to give him my flowers because, wow, man, I think I've been very harsh on him, and it's good to see him play well. Also, man, Florian Wirtz, again, what a performance. Like,
Could have had a hat trick in that game.
he could have had a lot more. He could have had an assist, but listen to me, man. What a player. He's finally getting back to what we all know. I've spoken about how people from the Bundesliga take time to settle in the Premier League, and he's literally doing that. And now he looks like the best player for Liverpool at the moment. And it's just wonderful to watch him play. So I thought overall Sunderland were a little average. They're not that bad at home, but I thought they weren't that great. But I thought we controlled the game really well. Also, Arne Slot, if you're listening, start Curtis Jones, because when Jones came on, listen, brother, he can hold that bloody ball so much better than McAllister. So you need someone like Jones to come in, start the game in where we can hold possession and play those passes in the middle. And he was doing that so beautifully. So I don't know what the beef is between Slot and Jones because he hasn't started in the last 5 games, but I hope that gets sorted out. Also, another player I'd like to talk about is Wataru Endo, my man. What a performance. What a warrior. He hurt his ankle. He was stretchered out. And before that, even though he was hurt, he got up and wanted to head that bloody ball. Listen, that's a mark of a true warrior. I bow down to my man, Wataru Endo.
I was waiting for the bow, which we have seen previously. Endo-san bow was coming. But yeah, proper Japanese culture coming out there, that a warrior samurai culture. But yeah, I think that puts the top four battle. I think you guys are on 42, Chelsea on 44, United on 45. I think Villa are a little bit ahead, but I still put them in our bracket because I do see a fall in Villa. Like I've said, I feel like they have perform the number of points they actually have. So I would still put them in that bracket. They should probably still finish third, but you never know with the Premier League. But yeah, I thought Liverpool also pretty good performance. I think could have won that game by maybe a couple more goals. I thought Wirtz had a few chances, like TK had a chance. But overall comfortable. And I think Slot will be breathing easy for at least a couple more weeks, maybe. But now I think the fixtures also will start getting a little more congested with Champions League football coming up. We've got an FA Cup game this week. However, United, on the other hand, next game in 12 days, then maybe another 10 days, and then another 10 days.
Oh my
So
God.
I think I saw a stat that we have only 2 games left on weekends in the next 8 weeks or something. Everything else is midweek fixtures. And those midweek fixtures are not Champions League or Cup games, they are Premier League games. So
Wow. But again, I think we can segue into that United West Ham game. What were your thoughts on that, Shiv? A 1-1 draw? What did you make of it?
I think we lacked a little bit of intensity in the game. Just, I know this is not an excuse, but this was the first time in a long time we had like a game 3 days after a weekend game. So maybe some of the players were tired. He played the same side all over again, pretty much so I saw a lot of United fans talking about, oh, how he should have Sheshko. But in hindsight, you can do a lot of things, right? Why will you change a tried and trusted team, right? So I think this was a question that was asked about Carrick and United teams in general. We struggle to break down those low blocks. And I just thought some of the play was a bit too slow. We were taking too long to break them down. We had a lot of the ball, but didn't really penetrate their defense too much. I thought West Ham were comfortable for most of the game until they went behind, and then we had to really push, push, push. But I think on the positive side, we did push. We did get that equalizer, and what a stunning finish it was from Sheshko. I mean, to do that, like, I think that was the only way he could score from that position. Like the ball that's put into him, like if he wraps his foot around it, he probably skies it over or hits it wide. Just gets enough on it to get it past the goalkeeper. So yeah, fantastic finish. And still, if you told me Carrick will come in and get 13 out of 15 points, I would grab that. So it's still been a phenomenal run. I think the only man complaining will be that man who needed his haircut, United Strand, unfortunately, will have to wait much longer to get his haircut. But at least he's getting clicks out of it, so good for him. Yeah, but no time to panic. I still think um, I'd like to see better performance against these teams that have lower blocks, maybe find different solutions. I did think Carrick took the risk of, like, in the end, he played three defenders, he got on Xerxes, got on Sheshko. So he was making a lot of positive substitutions, and that probably got us the win. Also, shout out to Lenny Yoro. Maguire got injured in the game, and then Lenny Yoro made two massive blocks in the end off a shot of Callum Wilson, and I think it was Jared Bowen, which kept us in the game, and then eventually it's a point gain, right? So yeah, no signs of panic, but we just lacked a little bit of intensity. But now we have 12 days rest, so no excuses like that in the next game. And then we were both lucky that Cole Palmer misses from 2 feet, I think that was. I mean, one of the most shocking misses of the season. And Chelsea ended up drawing 2-2 to Leeds. What did you make of that game?
Man. 6 minutes. In those 6 minutes when Chelsea were up 2-0, they just stopped playing for 6 minutes. The mistakes come from their own players, 2-all, and Cole Palmer misses something. I never thought I'd see that in my life. How did he miss that? Like, it was such a good ball. Great play from Gusto with the back heel to Caicedo, and Caicedo with that cross. Because come on, that penalty which he gave away was suicidal, man. Come on. You don't go inside the box with your leg like that. Like, that's just so stupid. But yeah, man, I think it's good for us. It's good for both of us that Chelsea dropped points. They should have never dropped points. I thought they were comfortably cruising through that game. And like Liam mentioned it in his post-match, saying, you lose focus for 5 minutes in the Premier League, you're going to get punished. And that's the beauty of the Premier League, right? So tough draw for Chelsea, but man, that just makes the Premier League so much more interesting. And I'm just super excited to see where this top four run takes us.
Yeah, I think 3 points between the two of them. I mean, between the three of these teams, it's again going to go right down to the wire. I think United have to go to Stamford Bridge. Liverpool have to come to Old Trafford. I'm not sure where Liverpool, Chelsea played. You guys have played both already, or
We went to Chelsea. We lost to Chelsea 2-1. So they have to come to
they have to come to Anfield? So at
Anfield.
least one, like each one has to travel. So this is
Correct.
genuinely going to go right down to the wire. But I think we can move on to another team that used to be considered a part of the Big Six, but is now finding themselves in a relegation battle. They've lost two on the bounce to Newcastle and to United. And with that comes the sacking of Mr. Thomas Frank. Tottenham 16th place right now. Are they in a relegation battle?
Man, 101%. Because, if you look at that team, if you look at that centre mid, Maddison is out for the season. Tell me one player who's creative there, other than Xavi Simons.
Yeah, and even Kulusevski has been out for a long time, right?
Yeah,
So,
Kulusevski I think he's giving interviews on Instagram to every Tom, Dick and Harry, but I don't see him talking about when he's going to come on field, right?
yeah. No, I think that team has been a mess. And it's strange because they've done well in the Champions League. They've made it, they finished in the top 8, I believe, and they've made it through that. But also they've had injury issues. But I don't know if it's Thomas Frank, the system, like what their issue is. But to be languishing in 16th place for a squad like that is just unacceptable, regardless of those injuries. And I think Ange Postecoglou came on the Stick to Football show, and a lot of interesting comments about Spurs, called them Spursy as well, which is a tag that Spurs fans hate. But someone who's managed the club, said that they are essentially Spursy. They lack the belief that they can actually win big tournaments. And he spoke a lot about his Bilbao game, of course, which is still heartbreaking and like torturing United fans till date. But yeah, he said that the general atmosphere towards that game until he changed it was that, yeah, maybe we can't do this, because that's just been the trend in the club. So yeah, Spurs are a weird one, man. And I genuinely hope they go down just for revenge for Bilbao. But what did you make of Ange's comments?
No, man, I think again, in this era or in this generation, it's quite fascinating to see ex-managers come out and talk about what's going on behind the scenes. And I thought it was quite refreshing because when he spoke about he finished fifth, and then he wanted to buy Pedro Neto, he wanted to buy who else? Wait, he wanted to buy Pedro Neto and a couple of
So
other
he said
players.
Embuemo, he said Semenyo.
Embuemo, Semenyo, Pedro Neto. But then they ended up buying Solanke with three other youngsters. So I think what he also he made a fair point about how the mindset in Tottenham is like, nah, we won't be able to do it. And I think he did a great job of demolishing that by winning that Europa League trophy. But the league form is where it matters, right, Shiv, at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And with Thomas Frank, I just thought that their home form was abysmal. Like, you could just see the fans were literally so frustrated from ball one. And I watched that game, Shiv, and I'm telling you, Tottenham were piss poor, huh?
yeah,
Tottenham was so poor to watch. Like, there was no urgency. They just want to kick the ball up front and pray to God that, okay, listen, someone does something great individually. So overall, I thought that's a great decision. I thought Thomas Frank was just lucky enough to go on till Feb. I agree
yeah.
that his Champions League form was good, but man, what Anne said, it's a lot to take, if you're a Spurs fan, because he literally went on about how the club is at the moment, which is, whew, in a way, if I hear it about Liverpool, I'd be like, wow, what the hell is going on behind the scenes? Because if you have no determination, if you have none of that zeal to be like, we can win something, you're not a top six club, my friend. You're just a
Yeah.
Premier League club.
But now they are in a relegation battle. And do you think they will hire Mr. Relegation survivor, Sean Dyche, who has also recently been sacked by Nottingham Forest? This manager merry-go-round that happens in the bottom teams. Can Spurs be included in this bunch? Will they go for someone like Sean Dyche, you think?
Man, I'm telling you one thing, man. We can talk about Nottingham Forest. Arenakis, what the hell is he tripping on, man? I think Sean Dyche got nominated for Manager of the Month in Jan. Why would he sack Sean Dyche? Like, I don't understand what the hell is going on. Like, who does he want now? He's going for
Yeah.
Victor from Wolves, who went on a 10-game winless run for Wolves. And he thinks that he'd do something good. So, man, Forest as a club, I feel for them, man. Look at the players they've signed, Shiv. They have Morgan Gibbs White. That infamous picture of the owner standing next to Morgan Gibbs White.
Yeah.
And then they signed Hutchinson, McAtee. They've signed fucking two players from Rennes, one from Rennes and one from La Liga,
Yeah.
who are top scorers there. What the hell is going on, Shiv? 17th now? They're
Yeah, seven.
17th.
They and West Ham are creeping up on them, right? So, I mean, West Ham, a team that we thought was like pretty much dead and buried, but they've got a few wins under their belt. Of course, the draw against United. And now I think that point gap is 3 or 4 points. So I think that's where this panic has come from, right? Like, oh shit, they're right there. So that's what. But Marinakis, man, how this is the third manager he's sacked in a single season. That is ridiculous. Like I feel sorry for the players at that point. Like every like 3 months you got to figure out a new system. And I thought first of all sacking Nuno in the first place was a terrible, terrible decision. Like for what he did last year with that team, for you to sack him that quickly was just a shameless decision. And then like you've seen with Spurs, right? And needs time for you to embed his system. It takes time, and even then, it's not some golden system. So that was again a shocking decision in terms of appointment. So yeah, this just a shocking owner, and he doesn't know what he's doing, to be honest. And it's just out of sheer panic, right? Sean Dyche, I truly believe, would have made them survive. Now, whether
Mhm.
this Vito Pereira can do it, I doubt it. He did it last year for Wolves, but can he do it again? Who knows? But at the bottom, this full merry-go-round of managers keeps going on. So I'm sure Sean Dyche will get another job somewhere in one of those clubs if someone's in danger. But who do you think is going to go down? So I think Burnley and Wolves are pretty much set. If you had to pick a
Mhm.
third team between Forest, we've got West Ham there, Spurs. Do you want to say Palace are in there? Would you put Palace in there?
Palace haven't
I don't know.
won. Palace haven't won a game in a while, But I'm gonna quickly share my screen. I think we can talk about just the table at the moment. Because give me a second. I'm just gonna quickly go down here, Mr. Shiv.
Yeah.
And what we see here, Shiv, is oof, man. Burnley and Wolves, I think, are done and dusted. Look at Okay, I think Nottingham goes down for me, Shiv. I feel like Nuno with the setup with respect to West Ham, I thought he sets them up really well, and there's some sort of a momentum with respect to Nuno getting those wins, getting a draw
Yeah.
against United. But I just don't see. I thought Forest should have won against Wolves. I thought that was the game they should have definitely won. I thought the owner just took a panic decision that, oh, we can't beat Wolves, so I'm gonna fire him because
Yeah.
that's not the way you
And
think.
did you know Forest had 35
So
shots in that game? That is
exactly.
ridiculous. After a team has 35 shots, you sack your manager. That's not on the manager. That's literally on them not putting the ball in the net, right? Like you can't sack your manager for that. So again, Marinakis is a maniac, is all we can say. And but yeah, I think Nottingham Forest, depending on like you're saying, it Vito Pereira mostly is the candidate, but Leeds maybe. Do you think Leeds could go down?
Man, I think Leeds, what we've seen of Leeds this season is that they have that desire to always come back, even though they're 1-0 down, 2-0 down. They stick to their guns, and at home, they are very, very good. They're good to watch. They play decent. They play a decent brand of football. I think Thomas Fark has done a great job. Daniel Fark has done a great job with Leeds. So I think Leeds are quite safe because they're on 30 points right now. So bro, it's between Spurs and Nottingham and West Ham. I would say Nottingham only because you can't have players have four different managers come in one bloody season, try to instill their philosophy. If I was a player, I'd be like, brother, I don't know what I'm doing right now. And I think that might happen, but let's see, man. What about you? Who do you think is going to go down?
Yeah, I think I hope Spurs go down, but I agree with you. I think it's going to be Forest. I think from what I've seen of West Ham in the last few weeks, even the game that they lost to Chelsea, I thought they played really well. They've had a couple of wins after that, even against us. Just compact in terms of their defensive shape. And at this point, you just want to make sure you survive, right? And I think the way he's setting up his team, Nuno has it in him to do that. I think Bowen has hit some form. Suchek has always been a fighter. You can see him like really rallying that team. I saw Wan Bissaka and even what's the guy who played left back? I'm forgetting his
Diouf,
name.
Diouf,
Diouf.
Diouf.
Yeah, I thought he was phenomenal in that game. So yeah, just the spirit in that team, I think, will get them through. There's another thing. We have the table up there. Can you organize the table by home form?
Sure, I can.
I just want you to say, take a look at where Spurs is based on home form.
Oh,
Like isn't that is the biggest red flag. You are 18th at home. I mean, that's essentially the root cause of all their problems. They cannot win games at home, which is just
absolutely.
shocking. All this new stadium you built for them, poor fellows can barely win any games there. Like that is crazy that you are 18th in terms of home form.
Oh man, Tottenham, man. Like Anne said, it's Spursy, brand. Spursy. How
But
can
this
you
is
not?
beyond Spursy, right?
Yeah, man. This
Like it's
is
relegation shit, man. You can't call it. This is worse than being Spursy.
actually, you know what, Shiv? I'm actually changing my prediction. I think Spurs are gonna go down, man. I think you've shown me the light. You've shown me the home form. And if your home form is this bad, they have how many more
Yeah,
games left? They have around five more games at home.
yeah,
No, they have six more games at home, and they have won. What the last five games they've drawn two. I don't see
yeah.
them winning. If they don't win a single game at home from here on, I feel like they'll go down, Shiv. I genuinely think they'll go down.
I think it'll be interesting to look. We'll have to probably, I think it'll take time to go through that. But like, just a comparison of all those teams' fixtures to see who probably has the toughest run. And that could also probably give us a more educated guess. But yeah, right now, I still think Forest. I think sacking Sean Dyche has like made up my mind that I think that was a stupid, stupid decision. And that is going to cost them. Um, but yeah, owners in football, man, doing some crazy things this week.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't know what they're tripping on, but if it was me, I'd be shocked to see Nottingham Forest actually come through it, man. Like four different managers. I think they have everything against them, but let's see what happens. But man, listen, I'm not able to talk about Spurs, man, right now because you showed me that table, that home form.
Yeah.
Fuck's
No, I've
sake,
been
man.
hearing commentators talk about it all the time, right? Every week. So I just wanted to actually check, like, how bad is it? And now we've seen they're bloody 18th, bro, which is crazy.
That's so wild. I think they've got 10 points out of 13 games, man.
Wow.
That
Jesus.
is, and
I
guess
think
guess
they,
who guess who they
yeah.
beat? Guess who they've beaten?
Who did they beat? I know they
Did they
drop
beat?
points to Wolves also. Who did they beat? Do they ever win at home? I'm sure they do.
Bro, if they don't have a win at home, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm not gonna kill myself, but it's gonna be funny, huh? But let me just see who they've beaten.
I'm assuming they've probably beaten Burnley or something, right?
Okay. I have no idea. We need to check that out. But they've drawn against City, so that's good. I'm happy for them.
Yeah. But in terms of owners, we've talked about Marinakis. There's one more owner I want to talk about, and that is the unfortunate owner of Manchester United, who's come out with some shocking, shocking comments this week. Um, I mean, he came out and said that Britain is being colonized by immigrants, which first of all, I don't think anyone who is English should be using the word colonized. It is the most out of touch word you can use. First of all, it is, of course, wrong. But for a man who has come from that country, who colonized almost half the world, it is such a tone deaf and disgraceful statement. And it's just sad because he represents such a global club, right? Like United has always had values of like, being slightly more left leaning, more inclusive, um, just more accepting of people of different cultures. We have literally fans from every little corner of the world, right? And even if you look at our own team, right? Like we've got players from everywhere. What is someone like a Kobe Menu thinking when he sees comments like that, right? Like his dad is of Ghanaian descent, but he's essentially English, right? He plays for the English team. He was one of the best players in the last Euros. So just, and at a time when United are doing so well also, right? We don't need any of this nonsense. And he comes out and he's a man himself who's a billionaire, who evades taxes in the UK, lives in Monaco. Like it's just so hypocritical, right? I just thought like just disgusting comments, and like for him to be like the owner of United and to make comments like this was just really sad. And I think the chance of it was always first just Glazers out, but I think those chants of Ratcliffe out are going to get louder now. And I think last year we were forgiving him for some of the decisions he was making around the club. Like certain things, cutting costs with silly things, like players from the 60s and 70s. He was cutting their pensions and stuff like that. And then Gary Neville made one simple suggestion in an interview with him, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't think about that." So it's like his inefficiency and his stupidity is coming through again and again, and now this is just sheer racism, right? He also got numbers wrong. Like he said that Britain had a population of 58 million in 2020, and in
Mm.
2025 it's 70 million or something like that, which is just wrong. It was at 66 and now it's at 70. So like he's not even backing up his so-called racist claims with facts. So they're just really unfortunate, and yeah, and really racist, really unfortunate, and just the typical billionaire mindset that you get. um, but yeah, that's just my little rant on Ratcliffe. I thought it was shocking for him to make those statements. But we can probably move on to something brighter, which has been the T20 World Cup, which has been pleasantly entertaining, huh, Rose? I think we were skeptical about this tournament, but have you been entertained so far?
Man, I'm gonna clap for ICC right now because the tournament has been a blessing, my friend. Because imagine Zimbabwe beating Australia, Nepal taking England to the line, Afghanistan choking against the perennial chokers twice, a tie game, super over one tied, and it goes to super over number two. I just think
Yeah.
overall it's been an absolute treat. Kudos to the ICC. The pitches, we've spoken a lot about pitches in general, especially in Asia in general. Pitches have been a breath of fresh air. You can see Chepauk having a beautiful belter of a track with pace
Hmm.
being the
Yeah.
number one tactic used, and you can just see Wankhede also being a little different. Sri Lanka, usually, which is a nice, beautiful turner, have grass on their pitches. So I feel like ICC have done a phenomenal job with the pitches. It's been competitive. I thought also a breath of fresh air is that the associate teams are also doing very, very well in the World Cup, which we thought wouldn't be the case. So, man, it's been unbelievable. And I've been watching every game and I'm enjoying it, man. What about you, sir?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I think the associate teams have really pulled up their socks and pulled up some great performances. As you spoke about Zimbabwe beating Australia, I wouldn't even call Zimbabwe an associate team anyway. Look anymore. Like look at some of those players. They've been around the block. They've been consistent. And I thought they blew Australia out of the park today. Um, Afghanistan, again, no longer an associate team. Really sad. I was like, I mean, just a really entertaining game of cricket, right? But I think, yeah, they should have gotten over the line. But props to Tristan Subs, who hit the 6 of 7 of 1 to like take it to the second over. Again, clutch moment. And then Ramanullah Gurbaz takes it close again. 5 of 1 needed, but then couldn't get it done. Again, Nepal taking England close. I thought Pakistan got lucky against Netherlands. If that catch is taken in the end, we see a different result. And then Pakistan again got over the line there. Then I think Italy also beat someone yesterday, although it was another associate nation, but
Italy
convincing
beat Nepal.
victory. They beat Nepal. So yeah, I think it's good to see that the general level of competitiveness is improving. Um, I want to see that. I think the one group which has opened up is the Australia, Zimbabwe, Sri Lanka group. That game between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe becomes crucial now. The game between Australia and Sri Lanka becomes crucial. Um, is there any other associate team that you think can probably challenge in their groups?
I think Zimbabwe, man, because now they've beaten Australia, and now the Sri Lanka versus Australia game becomes even more difficult for Australia. Now, bear in mind, Shiv, I think Australia have one of the weakest bowling lineups when you look at the top four teams in the current World Cup, right? When you look at India, you look at South Africa, you look at New
Hmm.
Zealand, you look at England. Even England have a better bowling attack than Australia. So man, huge cause for concerns there for Australia because they didn't look like they could chase that target, even though it was 169. I thought Zimbabwe were brilliant, brilliant on the field, brilliant bowling. They stuck to their guns. And man, just what a day for like being a Zimbabwe fan. They played them twice in the
Hmm.
ICC T20 World Cup. They've beaten them both the time, Shiv. That's
Yeah,
the stat for the day, brother. Once in
yeah,
2007 and one in 2026. 21 years apart, two victories for Zimbabwe. And that's the beauty of the World Cup, my friend.
yeah. And someone who I think might, go up to being highest wicket taker. I think I had predicted Varun Chakravarti, but is Muzrabani, bro. Took 3 wickets in the first game, taken 4 wickets today, and just bowled beautifully with the new ball and in the death. I think right in the end, also the only man they were hanging on to was Renshaw. Bowls a beautiful slow ball, smacked in the deep. Brilliant catch also taken. So yeah, Zimbabwe is going to be a team to contend with. Would love to see them in the Super Fours. That just adds more spice to the World Cup. But what have we made of our Indian boys so far? 2 wins out of 2. I think slight hiccup in the USA game, but you still
Mhm.
think we're still favorites, hot favorites?
Hot, 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 hot favorites, brother, because you have Bumrah. You have man, Varun Chakravarti yesterday was phenomenal. Also, when you were talking about the upsets, imagine if USA took that catch of Surya Kumar Yadav when it was 87 for six or
Hmm.
75 for six.
Yeah.
What could have been the story there? Overall, I think man, Ishan Kishan is in the form of his life.
Hmm.
The way he's hitting the ball. Unfortunate that Abhishek Sharma fell sick. It was just stacked, man. Like I'm gonna put it out there. I think Hardik Pandya. I think we both have mentioned this before. Is one of the most important players in white ball cricket for India. He can bat, he can field, he
100%.
can bowl, does everything for India. So, yeah, man, I think it looks like it's going to look like that India are gonna steamroll into the finals.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Hardik Pandya is the glue in that team. I thought England choked also against West Indies. If you watch that game,
I
they
watched it.
started batting really well. They were 70 for no loss, I think, in like 6 or 7 overs. And then just wicket after wicket fell. I think, what's the spinner's name? I'm forgetting his name. Moti or Noti? Yeah, he came and took in 3 wickets and like really turned that game on its head. So yeah, West Indies also could be a team to contend with. This is their format. And they are the team that won the last World Cup in India in terms of the T20 World Cup. So they will always contend. I think they will finish top of that group. So yeah, I think it's heating up nicely, and it will be fun the next few weeks, especially at least for me, who doesn't have United to watch for the next 10 days. So I'm forced to just watch cricket for the next 10 days. Uh, yeah, I think it'll be an entertaining tournament.
No, but a little bit about West Indies also, Shiv. The way they hit sixes. I think there's something about the way Rutherford, Holder, Shy Hope,
Yeah,
Chase,
Roston
Rostin
Chase. Yeah.
Chase, Pavel. all of these guys hit sixes so efficiently, right? Like even
Yeah.
the game against England, they had 54% of their balls were dot balls. They've still got to 196.
Yeah.
So again, another stat for the day, my friendship. I've been listening to the commentators all
The
the time.
stat man, Rohit Suresh.
So it's just fun to watch West Indies play. And man, I love Darren Sammy in that coaching dugout. He's just smiling. He's just an entertainer, right? And he knows everything about the World Cup. He's a legend for West Indies. So it's good to see them. It's just good to see them have some fun, man. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping they do well.
Yeah, no, they're a great team to watch. And I saw a really weird comment from Ajinkya Rahane. He was talking on CricBuzz and he was like, I don't think West Indies do much planning. And I was just like, that's such like a strange statement to make, right? What do you mean they don't do planning? Of course they plan, bro. They just like any other team, they plan and they execute their plans. You can't just say they're the celebration team, that they just have fun. They also have strategies and tactics. And I just thought it was a very tone-deaf statement from Rahane, who generally is like a good speaker about cricket, but I think he got this one wrong. But yeah, any last words? Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
I'm still slot out, Shiv. Whatever
Still,
said and done, I want him. I want him out of the club after the end of the season. Give him the end of the season now because the board want to give him that much. I just feel like the way he's handled the youngsters in our team, he's not using Rio. I want to talk about Cody Gakpo before we leave. Oh my God, that Sunderland game, Cody Gakpo hit the shot, cut right, hit the defender more than 10 times. I was about to sleep, and thank you, Cody Gakpo, for waking me up because I was frustrated looking at you play. So again, slot, if you're listening to this, use your youngsters wisely. Leo's there on the bench. Use him more often. Give him the confidence to play. He's a talent and a half. Make use of him. And for the love of God, take care of the academy kids.
yeah. Okay, very powerful words from Mr. Karak. Hopefully, they get through to Arne Slot, who seems to be dividing the Liverpool fan base largely in terms of whether he should keep his job or not. But I guess that's just the volatility of your club now. But you're still in 3 competitions, so stuff to fight for. But yeah, I think that's been episode 25. 25, brother, we've hit Silver Jubilee. We started in August last year. We still need 2 more subscribers to get to 100 on YouTube. So if any of you is listening and has not subscribed yet, please click on that subscribe button for us. And we have a new Instagram target also, which is by the end of March, we want to get to 500 Instagram followers. We're about 140 away. So please follow us on Instagram as well, and we will catch you in the next one.
The office.